Howdy, howdy ho, all that good stuff. I don't know what day it is. Tuesday night. Yes, the 17th. I think there's like 7 more days of Christmas shopping. Go get her done. Yeah, today was a kind of a crazy day. I worked a long day. Then I went and had dinner with some extended family, some good friends, good times. Yeah, all that good stuff. And had a little social media I don't know, ruffling, I guess. I posted something about an upcoming gig, and somebody didn't appreciate the band name and proceeded to make comments that I was being racist about a race that this guy isn't even really part of. So I kindly told him to fuck off and stop worrying about other people's feelings, you know. And I had to kind of like unfriend the guy because he's always leaving like some weird fucking comments and little laughter emojis over shit that doesn't like warrant one. You know, I just kind of, I've had enough. You know, I took off the kid gloves. It's like, you know what, dude, go fucking kick rocks, you know? Go practice your guitar. If you're a guitar player, shut the fuck up, go play guitar. You know, don't go leaving your shitty, politically correct opinions and shit on my post. You know, you can go fuck off for all I don't care anymore. Anyway, and I noticed that a lot of people kind of supported me on my decision and, you know, said, yeah, right on, man, you know, kudos or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you know, I mean, who needs that shit, man? You know, I don't need anybody telling me how to behave. If you don't like what I fucking say or post, you know, didn't your mom ever tell you, if you got nothing nice to say, shut the fuck up? You know, that's what I got to say about that. There's that. Anyway, I was just kind of fooling around with a little guitar thing. I've never played it before, but it sounds like it might turn into a tune. You never know. I'll have to revisit it. I'm kind of getting into that kind of a cleaner sound kind of a thing. I remember I posted recently, the last video I think I did was about a guitar, right? I was trying to sell for my son. I strung it up, fixed it up, and shit like that. People ask me about pickups, you know. And I think I mentioned once before in another post that we talk about pickups and the whole hype and mystery or whatever. It's like, you know, you can get, you know, every manufacturer out there makes a pickup that makes these claims. And I get it, you know, I mean, it's your business. You're in the business of selling pickups. And, you know, yeah, a lot of people think they need to change the pickups in their guitar to achieve a certain tonality or get the great sound of their, you know, favorite guitar player. You know, Joe Blow uses DiMarzio XN15, you know, and if you want to sound like Joe Blow, you got to get those pickups because you're not going to sound like Joe Blow unless you got that XN15 in there. They say bullshit, you know. You could sound like Joe Blow with whatever you got if you're trying to sound like Joe Blow. What I mean by that is, you know, if you got yourself, let's say you got yourself a Gibson guitar and it came with stock Gibson humbuckers in your Les Paul, called them burst buckers or whatever. And I'm pretty sure Gibson knows what they're doing making pickups, especially humbuckers, since they're the motherfuckers who invented them. You know what I mean? So chances are you got a good set of pickups in your guitar to begin with. Now, if you think your guitar sounds muddy or it's missing some soul, there's a couple screws associated to the left and top and bottom of the pickup, which will adjust the height of the pickup in relationship to the strings, right? I would suggest spending a little time moving that down a little bit. Don't get too close to the strings with the pickup. You know? I mean, for one, let me tell you one thing. The pickups have a magnet, okay? They got magnets or they got a magnetic bar underneath. Either the pole pieces are magnetic by themselves or magnets. individual magnets, or like a humbucker, you got a magnetic bar with slugs coming through. Either way, it's a magnetic pole. The closer you get the pickup to the strings, the closer that magnet is going to have influence on how that string vibrates, right? The magnet is going to try to stop those strings from vibrating because it's pulling the string towards the magnet. The further away you drop that magnet down, the less magnetic pull it has on the string. Therefore, you're going to get a lot more vibration out of the string than you would if the pole pieces are closer to the pickup. You might be surprised at the tonal difference that is there when you start lowering your pickups. You don't need to raise it as close as you can to the strings to get the best sound out of your guitar. You know, that's what your amplifier is for. It's to make the guitar louder. You don't want to rely on your pickups to make the guitar louder. Especially if it's a decent quality made pickup. You know, these days, most guitars come with pretty decent pickups, you know. Even if you got a ceramic magnet pickup, like, you know, some inexpensive humbucking guitars may come with these ceramic magnets on the pickup. And that isn't a bad thing. Ceramic magnet is kind of a dirtier, powerful, it's got a more of a warmer tone. Those you might want to drop down a little bit, you know, get more of a PAF sound if you drop them. And if you hear guys always ranting and raving about PAF pickups, those are low output pickups. You don't need to have this hot mass, overwound thing going on unless you're playing like super grudgy death, dark, like stony metal, where you're tuning the C or C sharp, you know, and you got these low brooding guitar sounds where the dirtier, the nastier, the better, right? I mean, hey, those pickups work great for that. You're not going to want some Alnico 5 or Alnico 2 magnet pickup to give you sweet tones when you're going for, you know, these brooding guitar tones, you know. And that's cool too if that's your thing, man. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people, if you get Texas specials or whatever for your Stratocaster, you know, are you going to sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan? I fucking doubt it. If you didn't sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan before you changed those pickups, you sure enough fuck ain't going to sound like him when you put the Texas specials in. That's all there is to it. You know, it's here. It's in the hands. It's in the way you adjust the pickups. It's in your amp settings. You know, it's your overall natural tone. Everybody's got a natural tone. So, yeah, you can go ahead and spend the money and buy all these crazy pickups and try to chase your tone. Once you know what you like is in a pickup, and I feel I know what I like, I always get what I think is going to work good for me in a humbucking guitar or in a Stratocaster. In a Stratocaster, I go for the basic stock Strat sound. I mean, you don't need these pickups that say these are going to make you sound like they come out of a 62 Strat or these are coming out of a 65 Strat. You know, I can make any Strat pickup that's decent sound the way I want it to. It's going to sound great. You won't be able to tell the difference between a 62 or a 65 or a 2025 Strat pickup. You know, if I'm playing to the same amp and I'm playing the guitar, you won't be able to tell, man, if I put them in the same guitar. You know, you won't be able to tell. Every guitar is going to sound different, but, you know, don't go thinking that, you know, that you need to change your pickups to sound like so-and-so. You should try to sound like you and so, you know, find your sound. And, you know, I mean, that's, you know, I have pickups I like say, for instance, for me, for a humbucker, if Gibson comes out with a Alnico 5 pickup that's in the vintage output stage, like say 7.9K to low 8 for the bridge, I'm going to be happy with that pickup. And they come up with one that's a little less for the neck, I'm going to dig it, For instance, like a Seymour 59 bridge and a 59 neck. I think that's a great sounding pickup in a Les Paul or any other guitar. If you're going for that vintagey, clean, and when you turn up the gain, you got your amp going on, it's going to sound like heaven. It's going to sound great. You could use a stock P90 pickup through a Fender Champ, a Tweed, a Tweed Deluxe or some old blackface Champ. I mean, let me tell you something. That P90 and that like Les Paul Jr. or an old Junior SG will make you cry. The tone sounds so fucking good. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's the amp. It's your amp settings. It's your tone. You have all these variables. You have volume, tone on the guitar, and you got an amp with, volume, treble, bass. Maybe if you're lucky, you got mid-range controls, maybe some presence or whatever. Set your amp. Play your amplifier. You play the guitar, you got to play your amp too. Get it to sound the way you like with your favorite guitar. And then, take it from there. Take it from there, man. I mean, you don't need to go spending hundreds of dollars on pickups just to. Pickups ain't gonna do it. I'm just telling you that. Yeah. Maybe you need a new amp. You ain't getting the sound. You need a tube amp. That's all there is to it. You're not going to get any good tones with a solid state, whatever. A modeling amp, a Kemper or whatever, whatever fucking bullshit you're using. Get a tube amp, All the pros, session guys, the guys that have been doing it for a living for a long time, making records, they're using real amplifiers. They're not using that shit, You could tell the difference. You can really tell. It lacks the warmth, And if you think that sound is cool, you like that solid state shit, and hey, then run with it. That's your thing. That's your sound. Ain't nobody going to be talking about your tone, though, I can tell you that. When you got a tube amp that's fuzzy, warm, it breathes, got a little life to it, feeds back at the right time, gives you the right tonality, makes you like God is talking to you. I doubt God is going to talk to you through your solid state module you're using. Ain't going to happen. There's no God voice coming out of that. Anyway, that's my opinion. I've been doing this a long time. All my amps are tube amps. Marshalls and Fenders. And I got one little solid state amp that is only used for at home. And I barely use the damn thing. My son uses it more than I do. But it's one of those Spider Line 6 amps. And Sounds good, super low volumes if you're trying to, not wake anybody up in the house and you want to have some overdriven guitar sounds. A little too nasally for me, but um, yeah, you try to play in a band with that thing or you try to turn it up, it just becomes the shittiest thing you've ever heard. That's all there is to it. I'll take my 15-watt deluxe against a 40-watt solid state piece of crap and I'll melt your face with my 15 watts. I guarantee it. Um, so there's that. Anyway, kind of ranting today. It's late. It's 9:37 on a fucking Tuesday night. And I just wanted to talk to you about pickups. If you need them, you need them. Your pickups they're low output. Maybe they're junk. I don't know. Maybe you got a junky guitar and you want to improve the sound of your guitar, But if you got a good quality instrument, say from Ibanez or Gibson, Fender, you know, you don't need to change the pickups, okay? You don't. If you do, there's something wrong with your guitar playing, okay? I hate to say it. You need to change your pickups. Something's going on. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I get it. Like, maybe in some cases, maybe the pickups are too high output and they squeal. You might want to put something low powered in there. You don't need your humbuckers to be sitting at around, 17K. To me, that's like a pickup that's going to sound shitty right as soon as it hits the fucking volume pots. You want to be sitting at around, maybe at the most 9K for a bridge pickup. Van Halen, he didn't have no high output pickups. They were talking about he probably had the PAF out of his 335. That thing was probably sitting at about low 8, high 7. His amp sounded fantastic because he didn't have this muddy pickup. I think he was using at one point a Seymour or a DiMarzio Super Distortion on maybe the Bumblebee guitar. If you notice, that pickup wasn't in the guitar long. I think he went to some standard PAF after that because the lower output pickups, they breathe, they vibrate, they sound better. You hear the strings. You can really hear the strings. If you listen to Van Halen's guitar playing, you can hear every note with some clarity. It's articulate. It's not this muddied, fuzzy, oversaturated, horrible tone. It's a very clean sound. It's very plexy, clean, Marshall with some, great percussive attack, So, yeah, think about that for a while, Think about that. Do some research, man, Think about what the sound you want. What's your sound? Is it muddy? Is it brooding? Then yeah, man, then go after that. Nothing wrong with that. That's your thing, man. That's what's great about music, man. Everybody's got their own thing, you know what I mean? And that's what makes everything great, because if we all sounded the same, I'd be bored to death, right? So it's great. But just a word to the wise, I see a lot of people in these forums and stuff talking about pickups and swapping. They got great guitars with great pickups from the factory, and they want to swap them out so they can sound like David Gilmour or whatever. I guarantee you give any guitar to David Gilmour, it's going to sound like David Gilmour, regardless of what pickups are in it. Okay? Fact. So on that, I am going to sign off and embrace your guitar for all it's worth. Embrace the pickups that are in it. Figure out what you're doing wrong or change something to get the tone you want. Maybe it's your overdrive pedal. Maybe it's the use of an overdrive pedal. Maybe you shouldn't be using one. Depending on the amp. But yeah, I guarantee you the pickups in your guitar are probably pretty good to begin with. On that note, I'm signing off. These are stock pickups. These are stock Fender pickups in this thing. I'm not putting, 1952 spec, pickups in my guitar. These are stock Alnico 5 Fender Telecaster pickups, and they sound great to my ear. They do the job. And yeah, I could put some, 65s or 51s or whatever the fuck they're calling them. Is it going to make that big of a difference? I might not even like it, All I know is I like these, and I'm sticking with them, and I have no desire to change them. I plug all my guitars into the same amp, and I don't change any of the settings on the amp. I play that guitar and I try to get the tones that guitar delivers, and I live with that because it's going to sound good. So good night, y'all. Save your money. Don't buy pickups. Buy another amp. Can't ever have enough amps. I probably got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got like 6 amps. I need more. I'm looking at some old blackface Fenders right now. I'm thinking about buying a Pro Reverb with 212s. If I could find 40 watts, 212s, blackface. If I can find one like a 66 or a 65, I'm probably going to pull the trigger. But I'm on the hunt. Looking for a good one. It's kind of hard to do if you can't hear it. But, I have faith in those old amps. I've owned a couple. And I know people that can bring them back to life. So if I can get a good price, if it doesn't sound good out of the box, I'll find someone to make it sound good. Because those amps are hard to fuck up. You can fuck them up. That's why you want to get some gut shots, and it's better to try it out before you buy it. But if I can find one that's unadulterated, I'm going to buy it. So anyway, there's that. And I think I've gone on too much. Happy Tuesday. It's going to be Wednesday tomorrow. We're a week away from Christmas. And I hope you're in the giving spirit. Not for me. For your loved ones. If you got kids, man, that's what Christmas is all about. Them little ones. They just love it. I remember I loved it when I was little. So take the time. Make it special. You got seven days to do it. So do it right. Because they're only little for a short period of time. Give them a hug and a kiss and get them some nice gifts. Make this one a memorable Christmas. And I wish all of you Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you before then. I'm sure I'll post another video. But in the meantime, get it right. Good night.